Hey, what's poppin' Real 16 TV? It's Cuz OP here back with another reaction. This time I'm reacting to YG will die in prison due to this testimony from Drakeo the Ruler Security. That's what Paco says, so we're gonna watch it on his channel. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. Continue to fuck with me. Screen recording starting in 3, 2, 1. Video playing now.
Absolutely cooked after Drakeo security guard just identified YG as one of the individuals who was holding knives when Drakeo the Ruler was ambushed, attacked, and ultimately murdered when he showed up to do a concert. I don't know if YG...
I ain't gonna lie, that's unfortunate. And it don't 100% make sense. Like on YG's part, like I believe it happened, but on YG's part it doesn't make sense. You had your own security, a posse of people, I'm assuming. You had no reason. You had no reason.
Knew this was coming down the pipeline.
And from what I'm understanding, bro was only in there 20 minutes and didn't do nothing. I think they were supposed to have some people. I think Whack 100 said he was supposed to have some people show up to walk with Drakeo, but Drakeo just went ahead and walked in there himself and did his thing. He just didn't expect them to like turn up like that.
Was tipped off to knowing that July was gonna be the month of exposure, but YG dropped a song last month where he's explaining why he didn't murder Drakeo the Ruler and why he couldn't have paid for Drakeo the Ruler to have been murdered. So YG starts off by saying that he couldn't have been the person who murdered Drakeo the Ruler, or he couldn't have been
They say I murdered this. They say I murdered that. Well, if that was true, you be a fucking rat and I'd be in the cell sleeping on a rack. Hey, but too bad that ain't a fact. All that talking on the can have the streets done is fucking rap. I ain't gonna lie to you. It feels as though he just wanted to make a point and then be clever around the point, because it's not even like it's necessarily coherent, if that makes sense. It's just more like he said what he needed to say and he moved on.
Involved, because if it was true, people who are saying he did it will be a rat and he will be in a cell. But because he's not in a jail cell currently, even that explanation is dumb. There are people who commit crimes and get picked up 10 years later all the time, or 5 years later in the case of YG. There are people who commit crimes and get away with it for a couple of years before getting picked up. Okay? So just because you have not been arrested yet, or you are not in a cell,
does not mean them niggas ain't gonna catch you eventually. You know what I'm saying? You might be a motherfucker that just happens to get lucky, but that ain't an often occurrence. You know what I'm saying?
Does not mean you would never be arrested or never be put in a cell for this. Alright, so even that explanation is dumb. Now, in the case of YG, shortly after dropping that record, CHP and LAPD pull up on him with a murder search warrant. And they received a couple of property from YG, including his phone. So it looks like he spoke a little too soon. He then proceeds by saying, I got paid $600,000 for the show. Why would I tell somebody to F it up, though? As if money has ever been a motivator.
And look, that's also my point, too. If money was your main motivator, you wouldn't have did any of that shit at the show. But since like prestige and how people look at you as your main motivator, it's the same thing that took down Lil Durk, if that makes sense. Prestige and like, well, feeling like the man is prestige. So like that, like basically just doing it, your honorifics. If you preferred the money, you would have been like, nah, not here. Like if you're doing it for the money, but the other shit comes with it, like, alright, well, I gotta do this for these niggas, or these niggas ain't gonna like me no more, whatever the fuck your mentality is on this shit, right? Then it's like, why do it at a show where y'all are all rapping and you know they're coming to see this nigga too? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you might be like, man, fuck this nigga, but they're coming to see this nigga too. They're not just coming to see you, they come to see Buddy too. So like, the show could be better, and then you can handle whatever business that you gotta handle with that nigga later. But honestly, Drakeo the Ruler was important to that LA culture. Like YG came out before him for sure, and YG had a voice, but he didn't have a voice to like sway the way people wanted to rap there. It was just more like, this nigga's cold. You know what I'm saying?
Back there for rappers not to go to jail. Of course, okay? So, but rappers mess up their multi-million-dollar career all the time. Lil Durk got a $40 million record deal, and he's currently sitting in jail right now for revenge. You wanted revenge on Drakeo the Ruler, and that's a very plausible reason to why you will throw away $600,000 in exchange for Drakeo the Ruler's life. Like that's not.
But it's like, what did that nigga even do? You know what I'm saying? Draco the Ruler is a known independent other than the rap group Stink Team. I mean, he talked a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, he did past tense. I mean, he talked a lot of shit. He made songs that I guess to an LA person would be quote unquote disrespectful. You feel me? But other than that, nigga basically was chilling as far as I knew. Like, it was really just like, go to the jewelry store, show off these Uchis. Like, you know what I'm saying? He the reason why motherfuckers call money Uchi, big bank Uchi on the dashboard, that part. You feel me? Like, it's like, I don't understand why this was a good time for that. You know what I'm saying? I remember going from Free the Ruler to R.I.P. the Ruler. It's like crazy. And it was like when Free the Ruler was a thing, it was like they was trying to free this nigga. Like, he got out, they tried to book him for the same shit. He got out again, lived a couple years. I don't know what that is. My dad did 20 years and only got to live a couple years too, and then he just randomly died. What is that? Like, do niggas get out and be surviving? It's starting to not feel like it. It feels like they die
right,
as
so
soon
none of
as
these
they get
explanations
out.
make sense. But then he messes up. He goes and he says, yo, I got paid $600 for the show, so why would I tell a ninja to F it up, though? And that's a fact you should know. Slim just died. I wasn't worried about, bro. I came to get the dough. Was finna hit the stage. Then I heard how y'all heard somebody got hit with a blade.
Now, the only thing about that is Slim 400, his situation was more like, I think it's like his girlfriend's baby daddy or some shit. It was like random. And now, he might have been worried about that and thinking about that the whole time. But for one, tell him on yourself about thinking about doing something to some nigga again. But if you say I'm worried about that, he said I came to get the dough, was finna hit the stage, and I heard how y'all heard somebody got hit with a blade. Now that being said, at first they didn't know what happened to this nigga. Then later on they was like he got into a fight, he got stabbed, right? The fact that he said, I don't even know. I'm gonna let him talk.
But this part right here,
I got
will be his biggest mistake. So first off, he actually admits that he went through the artist entrance and he was actually at the festival. See, because YG's performance got canceled. So for the most part, YG could have said, man, I wasn't there. I was in my car. Right? Yo, it got canceled 45 minutes before I was supposed to hit the stage. The festival, all the other performances got canceled at 8:45 p.m. YG was supposed to perform at 9:30. So YG could have said, bro, this was like an hour beforehand, because Draco apparently got there at about what they said about 8 p.m., 8:20, right around like 8.
Because he was only in there 30 minutes. See, I know a little bit about the story. Nigga was only in there 30 minutes. There was no time for some bad shit really to happen to him unless somebody just wanted to do something to him. Because you gotta think, in 30 minutes, you just in the building unless you just super thugged out. That's some different shit though. But if you like just on some regular human being shit the whole time, you probably chilling for 30 minutes. You might like look at some niggas, they look at you, but it ain't even on no like we trying to get at each other shit. It's just more like, oh, I don't know them, they don't know me. Like or you might meet some new people. It's some rappers that's supposed to be walking around the building. He might be able to make some new relationships at that point. You're not thinking nothing about violence. Somebody had to be intending to be violent on you. Because you're not thinking about it. It has to be a motherfucker that's just already been there.
20 to 8:30-ish. And everything took place within like 3 minutes.
I don't know. As a YG fan, I'm going to say this. I don't know the nigga that knows he's going to get paid regardless if he gets on stage or not. I don't know. That might be it.
So YG could have said, bro, this happened an hour before I was set to perform. I never got there. My performance got canceled. I don't know what y'all talking about. But he puts himself there. But then also, too, he lies. He says, I was about to hit the stage. I was about to walk on stage when I found out that Draco the Ruler passed away. That was so dumb. It was just so dumb.
Yeah.
Because first of all,
because it's like an hour before you're supposed to get on stage. Like, I don't know. I understand saying stuff that's stupid and you don't realize that it might pertain to some shit because you just don't know. Like, you just talking, you go, nigga, I didn't even know that part. Like, but his shit is kind of like, I don't know. I don't understand how people be getting away with shit when the times that you said some shit happened is off with real life. Like, that shit be killing me. Like, if you could get away with that shit, that'll make sense. At least your lie needs to make sense in the actual time frame of how shit happened. Like, he was doing this at this, and then this, and then this happened, but it's within the actual time frame, right? A nigga lie, I didn't heard it happen so many times. Hell, it's didn't happen to me. They'll lie, and then when I sit here and go, nigga, that wasn't even happening then. Hold on, I wasn't there then, or some shit like that. It's like clearly a motherfucker will come up with, I don't know how to best explain this, but a motherfucker will come up with a lie and try to manipulate reality to make the lie work. And it's like, man, at least if you're gonna be smart about this shit, make a lie that actually makes sense to what was actually happening at that point in time. Like, that was just dumb. And I think he was just rapping. That's most of it. I think the nigga was just rapping, because it's like, nigga, what's even the point of lying? You should, like, real shit, you shouldn't even have lied or nothing like that. You should have made a song like, damn, when I walked in the building, they got Drakeo. Like, I didn't know what was happening, but I didn't know what was happening. I just walked in the building, right? Which unless you actually did something, would be true. If you did something, that's a little not true. But if you didn't actually do nothing, that would be true. I walked in the building and this shit happened. So, like, I don't know.
YG wasn't set to perform until 9:30.
Because why would you say you there an hour beforehand and you really wasn't? Unless you had a real reason, like, I was bored, I just went ahead and went there. Like, you know what I'm saying? You have to have some sort of real reason for that shit to make sense. If not, it's just going to be like, nigga, this nigga's clearly lying.
Walked in and everything took place at around 8:20 to 8:30. Drakeo the Ruler, once he got stabbed, everything got shut down by 8:45 p.m. All the performances got canceled by 8:45 p.m. So 45 minutes before YG was set to perform, everything got canceled and the police was evacuating everybody from out the building.
Shit,
so
crazy,
YG could have easily said, I never made it in. This took place an hour before I was set to perform. I was still in my Sprinter van. No.
Exactly. Hold on.
YG says, no, I was in the building. I was walking on stage when I heard this. Cut it out.
And he was in there with a whole posse of people. We're going to stop the screen recording right there. You got to get to work here soon. But what I will say, though, is, like, from my understanding, it was multiple groups in that LA area that just happened to be together that day. So there was a whole bunch of stuff to basically suggest. There's still enough things to suggest it don't have nothing the fuck to do with you, right? But you're the biggest name. So the fact that you would put a target on your back yourself by trying to make a song about it, either A, you already knew these niggas was coming for you. You knew. Because, like, whether you did something or not, 9 times out of 10, you know eventually you're going to have to speak to these niggas. If you didn't do nothing, you know eventually, well, it's a give or take if you didn't do nothing. But if you did do something, eventually you're going to have to speak to these niggas. And if you didn't do nothing, it's 50-50. There's a chance, right? So there's a big chance, because they wanted to talk to Munchie and Adam. It's like, they clearly had nothing to do with this shit, but it's like, they just want to talk to niggas. So what I generally would say is, I hope for the best. I'm a fan of YG. I was a fan of Drakeo. I don't necessarily think that the richest nigga out there would have been the nigga to do it, but you never know anymore. You know what I'm saying? Pride and prestige will have you doing all types of shit that have nothing to do with you, for real. So the only way I couldn't tell you whether he did it or didn't do it, but I could tell you, if he did do it, this song was the dumbest shit he could have ever did. Now go ahead and like, subscribe, share, continue to fuck with me, holler at me, bye.